Hey guys, welcome. Sorry for keeping everybody waiting for so long. I know I had scheduled and then pushed back and then rescheduled. Let me share this with everybody. Let the people know that we're live. We are live now. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to everybody. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday. Thank you guys for being here. Shout out to everybody. Now hold up, y'all. Let me let the people of the Discord know that we are live. Everyone, we live now. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. I'm gonna let the people get in here, give a couple minutes. You know what I do? That's how I do it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for hitting that like button too. Thanks. Oh my God. Hey, I'm sorry. I know y'all been waiting for me all day. I'm sorry, y'all. Baby Bunny had a doctor's appointment today, so I got she's the queen, and she's the for those that don't know, she's the CEO of this channel. She's the reason why we have this channel, just so you know. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey Monica, hey everybody coming through. I'm waiting for a little bit more people to get in here. Welcome everybody. Thank you. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's see who else is here. I'm see if I have any mods in here just in case. Because you don't know, we get trolled sometimes. Hold up, y'all. Yeah, let me know. I saw mods earlier here, but I don't know if they're here. Okay, I see Ronan. All right, thank you. I feel good now. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Thank you. All right, so this is where we're gonna get started is here. Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about Emmanuel Haro and just a little bit of stuff that we have going on as far as updates go with Emmanuel Haro. I think it's important, given that it's like October 6th. We got a little bit going on there. I did check the Riverside County Court, and then we're going to move on to Celeste Rivas. And apparently, Celeste Rivas has been laid to rest. We have some photos. We're going to get there. Okay. So, first of all, let's start with Emmanuel Haro. Okay. And let me show you guys, for those that are not familiar, because some of you guys are not familiar with that case, Emmanuel Haro is the little boy who, oh man, how do I even condense that, or even because some people will not know. Emmanuel Haro was a little infant boy who reportedly went missing, or was reported missing by his parents in Yucaipa, California. And in less than a week, we found out that that's not the case. They have been arrested. They're sitting behind bars. The search for Emmanuel Haro's body is still, like, we don't know what's going on with that. We get some mixed messages from the police, from the sheriff's office, and from the DA's office, but we have a little bit of update. And you guys know, a lot of the people, especially from Yucaipa, shout out to you guys, have messaged me. Are you not talking about Emmanuel Haro? Well, it's not that I'm not. It's just that if I don't have any updates, I don't like making up news when it comes to something like that. A lot of bloggers got so much hate over talking about Emmanuel Haro from the DA's office. So I think it's important to kind of like make sure that we're highlighting, we're very careful about how we're reporting the news when it comes to Emmanuel Haro. At least I try to be very careful. Okay, so let me get started. Let me show you guys the website. Where is it at? Is this it? No. Is this it right here? I want to show you guys my screen that I'm going to be looking at here. Yeah, I think it's here. Okay, let me share this with you guys. All right, so welcome everybody. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. So in the Superior Court of California, County of Riverside docket, in their little sheet over here, they have a couple of updates, and this is Rebecca Haro's. I haven't looked at Jake's yet, but a couple of things that I noted. So for those that don't know, we have a hearing on the 16th of October, and that's a felony settlement conference. We don't know if that means that what the DA is going to do. I believe that's just standard procedure. Okay. And then we have a preliminary hearing on the 28th, which is really of October, which is really the day that we're probably going to get more details about what the DA believes happened to Emmanuel Haro and where they're going to go from here. Now, Jared Haro from that area gave us a little bit of a Facebook update. And this was on October 3rd. He says, "This morning I went to the memorial for Emmanuel Haro. New tarps, tents, and even Halloween decorations have been added. The community keeps showing up." And shout out to the community out there. I have been, I'm trying to get one of the well-known TikTokers to come into my channel because she's from the community, and they're really like it's a really wonderful group of women that are working together for the memorials, organizing things that like they go up there and they clean the memorial. They make sure that everything's nice and neat. I mean, they literally have the memorial like when it rains, they have these little cover-ups for the stuffed animals. They light candles, they go and they pray. So it's a really sweet little thing that they've done there for Emmanuel Haro, right? So shout out to them, all the TikTokers, specifically La Patrona. There's a couple of other ones that I don't really know. I just know La Patrona a little bit more, but I'm gonna try to get her on my channel so we can chat and she can give us an update. A lot of other people that I know have actual communication with the family on both sides. So we're probably going to get some more information. And then there's another creator who's in that area who I'm not going to shout out yet because I want to make sure that's okay with her. But she is well aware of everything, the ins and outs of this area, if that makes sense. So we're probably going to get a lot more updates, hopefully pretty soon. So Jared Hoddle says, "This morning I went to the memorial for baby Emmanuel Haro. New tarps, tents, and even Halloween decorations have been added. The community keeps showing up. The Riverside County DA's office told me that the case remains active, but details are sealed as prosecutors prepare for court." Now, this is interesting that Jared Hoddle says that because if you look into the court website, there there's definitely some discovery is sealed for sure. And let me give you guys an example. I'll show you guys something. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. What I notice here, look at this. This is my search. Ordered seal, protective order, discovery. This was September 16th, 2025. So all the discovery is under seal. They're probably very much trying to be careful about how they go out about doing, all of this. A lot of this information is probably not going to be related to us. So again, on your calendars, I want you to mark October 28th, which is the big preliminary hearing for Jake and Rebecca Haro. Okay. All right, hold up now. Let's go back to Facebook, but my page just went a little bit crazy. Sorry about that. Yada yada yada. Here we go. Okay, he says that this is what the Riverside County is saying, that the case remains active. The question that I have is, are they still searching for Emmanuel Haro? I don't know. I don't know. Where is Emmanuel's body? That's the question that we have. Deputies also confirmed that they responded to trespassing calls at the memorial Wednesday night at about 8:03 p.m., but found no one there and reported no items missing. On October 1st, 2025, at about 8:03 p.m., deputies were dispatched, for those that don't know, to a trespassing situation that happened there. The Riverside Sheriff's Office said via email, upon arrival, deputies searched the area, but were unable to locate anyone or anything that had been disturbed. So, yeah, I mean, we still have some of these calls of people kind of trespassing, which is insane to me that people would go into the property. Now, where is my tab? I don't know why people would go to the property. I don't know why people would think that that's okay, but people are doing that. Okay. Crazy, but people are doing that. Again, we're going to keep following this case as it unfolds. So yeah, we have not at all forgotten. I tell you, and I mean, some of us creators, shout out to BJ, that surprise witness. She went live today too. We don't like to make up like we like to actually have something that, even if it's on social media where we're bringing something and give you guys something to kind of, think about or maybe a conversation, but we don't like making up news when it comes to true crime cases. Okay. So that's why we're very selective about what we go and we talk about and what we're breaking, if that makes sense. But okay. We will definitely keep an eye out as things are progressing in the Emmanuel Haro case. And I have a feeling that after October, we're definitely going to get some more information. God hope. And I mean, literally, I It's just crazy, man. Rebecca Haro, Jake Haro, the Riverside Shreks. I don't know what else to tell you. I do not like. I do not support. I don't know. I don't know them, but I'm already biased about them. I'm just saying. Okay. Miss MD, Miss Ed 3, thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out to you, my love. Thank you, thank you. We are gonna move on because we have a couple of breaking news items when it comes to, well, David and Celeste. I kind of want to start because this is kind of breaking at this point as we're speaking. So it looks like, at least from what TMZ has reported, that Celeste has been laid to rest. They have some pictures of that area. And again, this is TMZ. Man, they're always there, aren't they? They always seem to be the ones to break even this situation. Like, it's crazy. I'm trying to find even the direct article and I can't. Hold up, guys. Let me see if I can find it. I find this to be just so weird. But hey, maybe maybe they're talking to family, because it sounds like they're talking to family directly and whatnot. Let's see if I can pull the article from. I gotta close some tabs, guys. So SF Investigates. Shout out to him. He's been on it, like him and Lauren Conlon. Celeste Rivas was laid to rest today at the Queen of Heaven Cemetery and Mortuary in California. No active sightings of David in attendance, which makes sense, given the public interest. Rest in peace. So, I'm glad. And it was today that she was laid to rest, in my understanding. See if I can go directly to that TMZ article. Here it is. Celeste Rivas' casket carried in. Okay. Loved one's final goodbye. Okay, I think we have a video too. Let's do this. See if we can watch. Okay, it's a little ad. Hold up. Yeah. So for those that are coming in, let me see if I can go back to this. For those that are coming in, it looks like, at least from what Celeste, well, hold up. This thing is, I hate TMZ. I really do. She was laid to rest, guys. At least that's what TMZ is showing us, that this is them. Now, if you guys remember, this is the mortuary that her body was sent to, her remains. So she was laid to rest. Okay. I was a little, and I'm just being kind of like thinking out loud, because I was a little worried, to be quite honest, because initially I believe they said that the service was on Saturday, and then it was scheduled for today, or excuse me, yesterday. Now, yesterday I was like, well, I'm just gonna give them. I didn't go live. I didn't talk about it, because I was like, let me just give people the benefit of the doubt, because I do remember seeing a report that it was going to be like private, like it was going to be a private ceremony and service. So TMZ was directed, and I can believe that TMZ, maybe, they were told where to go about where she was going to be laid to rest, and they were sent to this area. Okay. Um, I mean, Celeste Rivas family and friends gathered Monday. Ooh, so that was today. So it was today. Gathered Monday. You said TMZ exploits victims. Yeah, they exploit a lot. Celeste Rivas family and friends gather Monday at Queen of Heaven Cemetery and Mortuary as they carried the slain 14-year-old caskets to her final resting spot. A hearse pulled up to the Roland Heights, California cemetery next to a large tent. The funeral service will finally give her family and friends a chance to say goodbye after the case that's rattled LA and left more questions than answers. Okay. As we reported, Celeste's decomposed body was discovered last month in the front trunk of a Tesla belonging to singer David. Oh, they got more photos. The car was abandoned near a house the singer was renting in the Hollywood Hills and was impounded. Celeste's body was found days later in the vehicle at the Hollywood tow yard. So yeah, they had a little, which I think makes sense. They have a little privacy. I mean, if I was the family and I had enough money to do that, yeah, I would get me a little privacy house screen or something to allow family and friends to come through. Police believe Celeste, who's friends with David's circle, reportedly thought was 19 years old, had been dead for weeks before her remains were found. She was then reported missing by her family in early 2024 from her Lake Elsinore home. Okay. And then it says, in the time since her body was discovered, David's been radio silent, pulling the plug on his tour, shelving his deluxe album rollout, Withered, and even apparently moving out of the Hollywood Hills rental home where the LAPD have executed a search warrant. He hasn't been spotted in public since Celeste Rivas was 14 years old. Hold up, guys. Um, Let me see if we can look at some of these pictures to privacy, like a little privacy thing, which would make sense, you know. I think I would do the same. Like I said, but you know, if people donated, this is what they were able to do with it. And I think it's, I mean, it looks like a, you know, they might have had a decent service, right? Private family service, which they're entitled to, by the way. But I'm glad, like, here's some photos. This is the family. You could see that it's the Queens. Hold up. I'm gonna see because I think the tent said Queens. Hold up, y'all. And that's what her body was, where her body was sent to. Yeah, you could see it says Queens. And I mean, these are family members, I'm assuming, that are getting together, of course. Queen of Heaven, there it is. The tent has the name on it. I mean, yeah, it looks like a nice casket. I mean, I think I would agree, Anna. Like, having privacy is very much a thing. And you know, honestly, like, we went from being concerned about whether they were going to have a service or what, right? Because people did donate money, and you know, people have a right to ask. At the same time, you know, however you feel about it, right? But I'm really glad that at the very least she was laid to rest. Like, and her family was able to pay their last respects.
In the middle
Hold up,
of this, filming this elaborate, beautiful musical, your divorce is also finalized with Ben.
And there you go.
Well,
okay, nobody cares, J-Lo. Nobody cares. You've been divorced. Okay. Let's talk about this right here. We're going to move on to the whole swatting situation, guys. But let me know if you guys, what your thoughts are. Like I said, I'm glad that they move forward. There was a lot of questions about whether there was going to be a service. Hell, my title was even said, is there going to be a service or not? What is the issue with the service? Hold up, guys. One sec. That was the thing, is we were a little confused about whether a service was going to happen or not, but it looks like it did. And, yeah. You said nobody cares, J-Lo. You've been divorced. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't even keep it cute with J-Lo. Y'all know how I feel about J-Lo. Okay. Yeah, I'm not wrong. Thank you, Mio Sato. Tell him I am not wrong. Let's talk about David and the whole situation with the swatting call. Okay. So apparently, again, TMZ has this information about the swatting call. TMZ has the information that it's like, damn, like you guys really just have everything, right? It's interesting. You have been like the number one source of reporting all this. David, swatting caller uses voice changer to report bogus shooting.
Waller County Sheriff's Office is Amber. Hello? Yeah, Waller County Sheriff's Office.
Hello, I need help.
Okay, what's going on? Where are you at?
My address is...
Okay, what's going on?
I heard, some, gunshots.
Okay. How close to your residence were they?
They were, right outside my house, and I think someone's dead.
Okay, what's your name?
Say it again?
What's your name? Okay, what's a good phone number for you, sir? Okay, and why do you believe that somebody's dead?
I just heard, a loud scream, and there was, gunshots.
Oh, scream. Okay. After shots. Okay, but you haven't saw or heard anything else after that?
I heard a scream.
Oh, was it a male or a female scream, do you think?
It was a female.
Female? Okay, we're going to go ahead and get deputies headed out that way and just confirming you're at...
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to get them sent that way, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Waller County Sheriff's Office is...
Sounds like somebody very young. Here's the dispatch audio from the swatting call at David's family home in Texas. And it sounds like the person phoning in a bogus report of a fatal shooting is using a special device to mask their voice. Somebody said Netflix special is going to be out before this case is solved. But y'all don't have a recording of the lady who swatted, okay, I don't know who, Nikki's house twice? I don't know. The car was his and parked in front of his house. This guy is guilty, somebody said with a check mark. The questions are filling nails while taking info is, however, regardless of the help. Young, somebody very young? You said it sounds like David? You think he might have called his own SWAT to his parents? Yeah, why would he do that though? Why would he do that? It sounded like someone very young. It definitely sounded like it was a disguised voice. Sounds like someone hiding their voice. You said that sounds like, y'all said that sounds like David? So he would swat his own self? For sympathy? Wow. All right. So y'all think, let me hear it again. Okay, let's hear it again. Tell me what, again, this is a disguised voice. You could tell that it's disguised. To me, it sounded like it was disguised from the jump. I said, oh, you could tell. they're using like a voice changer. I mean, I've had a voice changer here. Matter of fact, we're working on another one. Well, I still need to set this up. But yeah, like I've had a voice changer for sure.
Amber? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, Waller County Sheriff's Office.
Hello, I need help.
Okay, what's going on? Where are you at?
My address is...
Okay, what's going on?
I heard, like, some, like, gunshots.
Okay. How close to your residence were they?
They were, like, right outside my house, and I think someone's dead.
Okay, what's your name?
Say it again?
What's your name? Okay, what's a good phone number for you, sir? Okay, and why do you believe that somebody's dead?
I just heard, like, a loud scream, and there was, gunshots.
Oh, scream. Okay. After shots. Okay, but you haven't saw or heard anything else after that?
I heard a scream.
Was it a male or a female scream, do you think?
It was like a female.
Female? Okay, we're going to go ahead.
Like this person who's calling is very calm. You know what I mean? If I heard a gunshot and I'm hearing a female scream, I mean, I guess if I didn't see anything, I might be calm, but I don't know, man. They said that they saw it or they heard it. Interesting choice of words. When I heard the voice, I thought it was sounding like David trying to disguise the voice. Should we do a poll? Yeah, I don't think it's David, but y'all said that that's freaking. Look at Kagan's eyes like that's freaking David Rabbit. That's David. So he would SWAT his own family? Allegedly, I don't know. Allegedly, you guys are saying allegedly. I'm reading the chat. Okay, is that what you guys are saying? It sounds like a teenager to me. Whoever it is, I hope that they get caught. Voice changer or not, you know you could still find out who's doing that. I don't think you would get any sympathy. They said that the caller had the same IP address on the officer's body cam. I know, right? I'd be fresh. I'm exactly right, Diddy. I'd be fresh out of calmness. I would not be like, it's a woman and they got shot. You said if you listen to the interview, that's him? Lala, you really think this is him? I don't think it's David. Hey, Tony, my love, how are you? You said to garner sympathy if it works. All right, let me do a poll because I want to see what you guys think. Honestly, I have questions about this. I really, really do. Hold up. Do you believe this is David on the is he his own swatter? Hold up, y'all. David, it's David. It's not David. Now, I guess I want to know. See, so y'all are arguing in the chat. It's not, it is. Put a no clue. Put a no clue. I just don't think he would SWAT his own family. I'm just saying, especially we don't know if he's staying there. He hasn't been seen publicly. Why would he SWAT himself? Why would he SWAT himself? That's the question. Why would he SWAT himself? The cadence of his speech? See, you guys are saying that it's the same cadence. All right, let me see what the chat's saying. Okay, look at this chat. If you look at the poll, now go vote. Now, while you're voting, hit the like button. It's free. It's free to support the channel by hitting the like button. Please and thank you. You said, oh my God. Miss Jam said some people will blame him for everything but 4 weeks they loved him. You guys, this chat is crazy. Anyways, do you believe, okay, I got 163 votes. Do you believe this is David? Is he his own swatter? 67% said it's not David and 32% said it's David. I don't know. Why would he want to hurt his own family? I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense to me. I think it's somebody else. It's somebody young. You said it's the same cadence. Thought I was the only one. No, Kim, everybody's saying that it's the same kind of cadence. But why? See, half of the chat is saying it's a white teen. You guys confuse me because some of you guys are saying it's the same cadence, and then the other people are saying it's a white kid. It's a white. Can we agree on something? Can we agree on something? Which one is it? Yo, you guys, I just don't think he would SWAT his own house. You know, you're like the 10th person who has said about the cadence. You can listen to the delivery. See, but then there's like 5 people here that say, "Oh, it's a white kid. It's a white David." See? Oh my God. Listen, I don't know how you listen to cadence when he's got a voice changer. How do you listen to, it's a white kid named Cadence. That's his name. Oh my God. Y'all are crazy in my chat, man. But I mean, I'm literally trying to see where you guys land. I don't know. I said it could be potentially harm his family, bro. Like, no, yeah, I just don't see that. I don't know. You said seeing that a few people attended this funeral sense. Oh, Sharon, I feel like it was a lot of people. They had a privacy tent. There's a lot of people that got off of that car. I wouldn't say it was a few, but it was a private funeral too, But I understand that it's a private funeral for obvious reasons, but no parent should ever have to bury a child. Right, Sharon, no parent. Like, yeah. It's just sad. You know what I mean? What we have to focus on at this point is justice for Celeste Rivas, justice for Celeste, because I mean, I don't get it, man. And I'm glad that this has outraged a lot of people because people want to know what happened. I think it's important. You said, can I replay? Well, put a 1 in the chat if you want me to replay the call. Because Amy, I've already played it twice. I can replay it again. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys want me to replay the call. If I get at least 10 ones, then we'll replay the call. Let me see. Play some of the interviews and then play the call. Okay. I can look into maybe that's a good idea. Play the interviews and then play the call. Okay. All right, hold up. I got 1, 2. Do I have 10 ones? Well, I got 4 here that I see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 2. Tana's like, no, I'm putting a 2. Okay. Let me replay the call, and then I'm going to look at some interviews. Now, there's some other posting that we have to talk about as well, but let's go ahead and play this call.
Your deputy's headed out that way, and just confirming you're at.
Hold up.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to get him sent that way, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Waller County Sheriff's Office is Amber. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, Waller County Sheriff's Office.
Hello, I need help.
Okay, what's going on? Where are you at?
My address is...
Okay, what's going on?
I heard, some, gunshots.
Okay. How close to your residence were they?
They were, right outside my house, and I think someone's dead.
Okay, what's your name?
Say it again?
What's your name? Okay, what's a good phone number for you, sir?
I think it's crazy that they would blur the name when we know it's a voice changer. If it's a fake call, why is TMZ, why is the name even redacted? Maybe it wasn't redacted by TMZ. Maybe it was redacted by the police, but why are we redacting a call that we know is fake? It's weird.
Okay, and why do you believe that somebody's dead?
I just heard, a loud scream, and there was, gunshots.
Oh, okay. After shots. Okay, but you haven't saw or heard anything else after that?
I heard a scream.
Was it a male or a female scream, do you think?
It was a female.
Female? Okay, we're going to go ahead and get deputies headed out that way and just confirming you're at.
Okay, Let me stop right here. And Biker Batty, thank you so much for this $2. Think someone is dead because you heard gunshots is weird. That's right. I think he said, yeah, because he did say someone is dead. And then they heard a female scream. Yeah, that's so off to me too, right? Unless you're in the vicinity and you saw somebody die, you wouldn't really know that they died, right? I don't know. Okay, here's a little bit of, and this is Prince Preston. I'm not familiar with the channel, but he has an interview. And this is David speaking.
All these heartbreaking breakup songs before I even entered my first relationship. And then once that actually happened, I was like, oh my gosh, I kind of spoke the heartbreak into existence, kind of, you know?
Just be real with me.
Love shouldn't be transactional.
Real? Why?
I feel like most of the time, especially like nowadays, people get into a relationship, or we use the term situationship a lot now, where you have to give something to gain something. And I feel like when love is real, it's both parties participating in love. And that's why I love the term falling into it, because it's like sometimes you don't expect it. It could be like super rushed.
Okay, so is the caller David? Some of you guys wanted me to play an interview. You said sounds close. Okay, nah, that's not him on the phone. He doesn't go all the time. Okay, definitely not the same voice, not the same cadence. I just don't know if I could tell the same cadence if they're using a voice changer. You know what I mean?
And people like to take the term, I'm taking it slow, or we should take it slow. It's like love doesn't dictate the timing of it. You can't really predetermine what that feeling is to you. And I think when people try to plan too much or overcompensate for their lack of emotional intelligence, they kind of make a bunch of excuses for love. And then it's just like more infatuation than the actual emotion. So the way.
All right, so it's been played for a couple minutes, for at least a good 1 or 2 minutes. 5 Divine, thank you so much for the $4.99. In the back of his yard, she died. He's confessing to his parents. David telling us on his alter ego, Itami. Okay, thank you so much for the $4.99. What do you guys think about 5 Divine and the comment? Okay, Ella, thank you so much for the $5. I feel like someone is using David's voice via AI, slightly muffled, not to be obvious. You know what, girl? Let me say this. At this time, you could change people's voice. Like somebody can use my voice. Does that make sense? They can record samples of my voice through an AI app to make it sound like it's me when it's not me. That is a real thing. I mean, I didn't, AI is so advanced right now. I didn't know how real. I mean, I'm not real. If it like, that's how I could be AI right now. If that makes sense. That's how advanced AI is. So you're right. Like anything could be possible. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody, if they're using a voice changer, they take a sample of his voice, make it sound a little bit like muffled to just pick up a little bit of the vibe. You said rabbit cadence also means the way words are drawn. Ah, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that, Ella, but that's a good point. And thank you so much, my love, for the $5. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Voice changer with AI? I don't know. That's what I think happened. They use his voice to call a report. AI has become a curse. I will say that. I mean, like, listen, AI can do a lot of things, but a lot of positive things, but you can pull somebody. I've seen it. And I'm telling you, as a creator, I've seen applications that exist. You can pull somebody's voice, add it to a mixer, and have that kind of be their voice. I mean, you got to be careful. You have to be careful. You know, it's a thing. It's a thing, and it's a worry for sure.
The way I like to view love is that we're participating in this ceremonious matrimony together, and we should kind of approach it with the journey aspect to it and be in it for like the long run, and not keep expecting and expecting from someone. If you truly love them, there's no expectation. It's just that's your person, you know.
How did you realize that?
Just years and years of reading and experiencing it, like both sides of the spectrum, having the rushed part and then the planned out part. And the plan never goes as planned. It's like, you know, you expect, and then
the problem is with playing. I know I've been told to play this interview with Benny Blanco and David. The problem with that, Roxy, is that it's on his channel, and I don't know who's running the channel. So for copyright purposes, I don't know if I'm able to play it. Right now we have to be careful because some of these, because he's like under the music stuff, they could definitely tag you and take your channel down for playing it. So I got to be careful. I can't just outright play it. Why did the caller say someone died, but they didn't see anything that was odd, right, Kim? Kim, that is what somebody pointed this out too, and I was saying that. Was it Monica who said it? There was another person that said it. Somebody died, or something like that to that call. I think it was I mean, I still don't think that David called his own SWAT. Because that like you literally are calling this, like, swatting is so dangerous. Just don't know. We just don't know. I just don't think that he would call his own SWAT. For what would be the purpose? What would be the purpose to call his own SWAT? What would be the motive? And the SWAT was called like on the 18th. It wasn't even recent. What my question is how did TMZ know about the SWAT? How did TMZ know to pull the body cam footage? That's the question that I have, y'all. How does TMZ know all this ish? How did TMZ know to release that body SWAT? How did TMZ know that the funeral was today? How did they know everything was today? How do they know to pull that their parents had been swatted? And one of the things I used to do, and I mean, I used to do this when I worked in government, you can run a dispatch report on properties. Okay? Here's some that some people don't know. You can run a if I live on 1050 South Ivan Street, okay? 1050 South Ivan Street. When I worked in government, I could run a dispatch report on that property to find out how often the police was going there, how often they had been dispatched to that address. 1050 Ivan Street, I just call and then they would run those reports. But my question is this, how did TMZ know that there was a SWAT, and this wasn't a recent SWAT? This was literally maybe the second week that we found out and we were looking into Celeste. Interesting. Just saying, just putting that out there. TMZ knows everything. Okay, they do. Private investigators, maybe. It's a very specific thing to know. Police scanners, potentially. So they went back to listen to police scans. That SWAT call could have gone very wrong. That's why I don't think that David would have done his own SWAT. And so soon. Think about the date that was done. It's called yes, you can do that. You can FOIA. But I'm saying is that in order for you to FOIA, what would make you want to FOIA a property address? For what? Unless you know something else happened. Yes, you could do that. You can do a FOIA too. But you can also do a dispatch report, which is different than a FOIA. And some information may not always be available to the public. So if you work in government, it's a little bit different. If you're a journalist, you might have other resources outside of a FOIA. You said, I can guarantee you if the cops came to my house because somebody have reported a death, I'd be in jail at the very least. The cops would be not accepting me shutting the door on them. Ooh, you know what, Tara? And that was a very interesting how they like immediately shut the door. And the cops like, you got to get that woman to open the door. We got to let her know what's going on. Thank you. And it came out a couple days after his mom was seen purchasing a pew pew. If I'm not mistaken, you're right. Lala, you're right. And how did TMZ know about all this? It's one thing for TMZ to pull a dispatch report on Celeste Rivas' property to find out how often the police had been at her house. I get that. But why would they think about pulling any kind of report on David's house property? It's not even David's house, it's his parents' house, right? It's a weird situation. The way in which information is being collected and being shown, it's weird and it's confusing, and it's like we just don't have where are we getting our sources? Does that make sense? Like, where are we getting our information? That's the question that I have. Anyways, let's keep going, guys, because I got some bookmarks. Now, SF Investigates posted this, and I need to show you guys what they posted, what he posted, that I found to be interesting. Here you go. He says, I have been tracking cases at the medical examiner's office to better understand when toxicology results for Celeste Rivas might be complete and how long it might take to finalize the autopsy. It appears, let me close my thing. It appears that cases previously listed as deferred and now showing cause and manner of death determinations are currently around July 21st. So we could still be about 6 weeks away from the case closing with the medical examiner's office. However, there is coordination between detectives and the medical examiner, and they provide informal preliminary findings in case. That means an arrest could happen sooner than 6 weeks. Whether that arrest involves a significant homicide charge or a misdemeanor related to concealment of a body is another question. Personally, I believe the reason it's been so quiet among those in the Celeste Rivas Hernandez and David Friend group is because they are speaking with detectives and the district attorney's office. My personal opinion is that we will see an arrest based on a confession within. Oh no, girl. Give me one sec, y'all. My personal opinion is that we will be seeing an arrest based on a confession within the next weeks to 10 days. Keep in mind that once someone is arrested, authorities have 3 days to arraign them with formal charges. So they will not make an arrest until they have enough evidence to hold the persons through a probable cause hearing or a grand jury indictment. Also, think there will be a significant twist in the story that will be disclosed when arrests happen. I think that there's going to be a significant twist to it. I mean, it's already a significant twist, you know? I think we're going to see something a little bit, I don't know, man. Maybe because the mom was at the pawn shop buying a rifle? Sesame says, okay. Let me see. TMZ's nasty network. Who knows who they get info from, right, Yolanda? You just never know. I mean, they get info. They really do. But who are they getting their info from? And they don't disclose. Like, I'll never forget how they handled the Diddy trial. That was like crazy. Where is David? Last said, I think he was with this. Hold up. Where is David? Last said, I think he was with his parents at his house. I think he would be with his parents, but I don't think that is the case. Well, when they did the swatting, he wasn't there, and I'm assuming they would have talked to him, right? But I don't think that is the case. I do wonder if they're at least tracking his whereabouts in this case. You think he's guilty? Okay. Maybe David hired a friend to do so. Oh, I don't know. Yes, they have enough evidence because in California, they only have 3 days to bring charges, says Robin. Okay. I think it was probably Harvey, what's his face, his sidekick, making that phone call themselves. That would be a criminal charge, guys. I don't think Harvey and not to say that they wouldn't be above that. I mean, you just never know, you know. TMZ is like nasty work, guys. TMZ is a whole different monster. Because that's how they run things. That's how they do things, you know. That's what TMZ does. But I just don't know what we make of it. I think we have to be kind of mindful that anything and everything is possible. And you know what's so crazy is that even though we get a lot of criticism and stuff like that, like here's Law and Crime. They will run a show based on a lot of things and theories and stuff like that that people have. Like, I find it to be amazing.
And there was a possibility she wasn't murdered. But here's the thing. There have been no arrests since her body was found in the trunk on September 8th. Authorities have not identified a suspect nor a person of interest. And to be clear, David has not officially been implicated in any wrongdoing or any crime. And law enforcement have not even come out with a definitive connection between the singer and Celeste.
Okay.
But I want to bring on right now,
guys, but that doesn't mean that he's cleared, People have said they've cleared him. I don't think that LAPD has not cleared David. People are, and I talked to a couple of people about this. They have not cleared David. They're not saying that. They're just saying that he, at this point, they're not really. And again, they're looking at evidence. We're looking at various factors here. They're not clearing him yet. I don't think he's officially cleared, and I won't believe that he's cleared until it's officially on a PR statement or on paper. Him having a lawyer is just processes and procedures. And Divine 5, thank you so much for the $4.99. He said it himself. He said that his alter ego commits the crimes and David helps the cops to try and solve it. Split personality, we talked about that. David not only, this is him, okay? I did a video about this. I said, guys, David is like in one, hold up, y'all, because Baby Bunny's listening to Loud TV. Give me 1 sec. Sorry about that. She's got the bubble maker and it makes all kinds of bubbles. And anyways, and it's got music to it. 5 Divine, again, thank you for the $4.99. David himself, what is it? Prayers for David. He's got a whole, like, in 1 minute, he's talking about Itami. I get this. I got that, right? He's talking about this alter ego that he has and everything. Itami, and, you know, he checks out and he commits his murders, a romantic homicide, and putting bodies in trunks. He does that. But on the other side of him is like this prayer situationship. He's very spiritual and we're going to praise God. And maybe he only checks into that ego when it comes to music. That's just a persona. And celebrities do this all the time. Beyonce had a second personality. Nicki Minaj has one. Lady Gaga has one. These people have second personalities in their performances of music where they kind of like tap into it, right? And I always thought, I was like, it's almost like a method actor. Y'all know what I mean by that? Where they really get into the role so much so that they live it every day. Did he get into this method acting when it comes to this persona? And you do have to be careful when you tap into that because it really taps into your psyche. What was it? Heath Ledger, when he did the last video, the last role that he played for, what was it? The Joker on Batman, which, by the way, amazing work, but that really did F with his mind. Playing the Joker really F with his mind. So a lot of these characters, a lot of these performers, a lot of these actors, musicians get into a character and they have a hard time letting go of that. And so you have this like Heckle and what is it? This other personality that is like, are you this personality every day? Or are you tapping into this personality? Or are you praying? Like, well, which one is it? Pick a side, right? And thank you, Divine, for the $4.99. Hibiscus Rose, thank you so much for the $4.99. Great reporting, Rabbit. Well, thank you guys. I'm just thinking out loud, guys. I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you. Amber says Billie Eilish has the same type of music as David. She literally has a song called "Bury a Friend." Billie Eilish, my oldest, it tastes in music, likes Billie Eilish. I told my oldest, I said, I cannot stand the eyeliner everywhere. I mean, I just, I'm just, some songs, okay, but some of it, I'm like, I just can't. I cannot. But these are personalities that these artists get into, right? You say, yep, he had a whole persona became too real. So you just don't know. You don't know. You don't. No one is suspect because they don't have an COD. They don't have a cause of death yet. Absolutely. Hold up. Let me see what you guys are saying. Please look into Davis family. I found some strange coincidence. David's family. SF said something that I have said from the beginning. The car looks like it had been trash. I have a 20-year-old grandson, and he never drives the car in person. He would never drive a car in person? She was hit by the car. Ooh, Yolanda. The car has a couple of like bumps and things in there, right? You said SF theorizes that she was last heard of not longer than what has been reported. Method acting can become dangerous for everyone involved. Yes, it's a real thing. It's like how you type into this other side. You become the Joker. You become this romantic homicide personality that's, offing people or putting them in trunks. It's a thing. You know what I mean? It's a little weird. There's a lot of people locked up with way less evidence and connection. Well, I think that they want to wait till there's like a rock solid, something to really go after. Yeah, it becomes channeling. Absolutely. So, like Divine said here, he might have confessed through music, but is it really his confession or is it somebody else's confession? I guess you guys are going to have to, make up your minds with that. Kind of makes you wonder. Let me hit play on this.
Will Svilar, who's a retired detective commander. Will, thank you so much for taking the time. You and I haven't had a chance to talk about this case yet, as it's really in the news. It's continuing to develop. We're trying to understand what's happening behind the scenes. Since you and I haven't spoken, let me get your perspective. Why no arrest? Why not name any suspect? Why not name any person of interest at this point? It's been weeks now, and it's almost, what are we at? Almost a month, almost a full month since the body was found.
Well, one thing I want to be clear on is a crime has been committed. Now, and the crime is minimal.
Well, hold up. It would be a month on the 8th. So, yeah, it would be, I think, Wednesday. Is that correct, chat? Let me know, because I believe the body was found on the 8th, but she wasn't identified until like maybe a couple days after that.
We call it in Illinois desecration of a corpse or improper handling of a dead body. The girl was put in the trunk of a car, dismembered. Somebody did that. That's a crime. Now
we're talking about two separate crimes, guys. Remember that we had a long chat about this. Friday or the day before? We said, listen, if she was dismembered, that's a whole separate crime outside of hiding the body, right? That's a separate crime. Dismemberment of a corpse is a felony. It is.
The events leading up to her death and her actual cause of death still has to be determined. And without that, you're not going to get a murder charge. Unless somebody says it's a murder, and that's the medical examiner, you're not going to get a murder charge.
To couple that, we've talked about this extensively here on Sidebar, but I haven't talked to you about it. LAPD Captain Commanding Officer Scott M. Williams told People magazine, quote, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner has not determined a cause or manner of her death, so we don't know for sure if anyone has any criminal culpability for her death beyond the concealment of her dead body. Now, with that in mind, something I don't think we've talked about yet, is that Fox 11 LA, they spoke with a private investigator, Steve Fisher, who apparently got his hands on images of that car, the Tesla that Celeste was found in. And remember, this car was apparently sitting there for weeks before it was towed to that tow yard, and then workers there smelled this foul odor and alerted authorities. But it was in the Hollywood Hills. Now,
Kim says, Rabbit, for the Tesla trunk to be unlocked, the owner has to manually unlock it. It's not like the regular trunks where a person can just open it. So that would be the front trunk, right? Let me know, Kim. Oh my gosh.
it could suggest she was in that trunk for that extended period of time too. We don't know how long she was in the trunk per se, but her body was decomposed. Anyway, so Fisher says, quote, the car almost looks like it's been off-road in the desert or something. The wheel wells are all beat up. There's a huge dent in the back. This could have been an overdose, and they panicked and hid her body because they didn't want to expose the relationship between her and the minor. And by the way, she was found one day after she would have turned 15.
Okay, I'm going to say something very unpopular, but I'm going to say it because it's in the back of my mind. I think it's important to consider. Okay. We only know of David, right? And one of the things that stood out to me about Celeste, immediately I thought, right, was she solely running, if it was David, right, was she solely running to David, or was she running to any adults? Were any adults harboring her? Were any other adults involved in moving her around? Was she just going to David's house, or not even David's house, somewhere else? Were there any other adults that could have potentially known of David and somehow had this little entanglement there? Because if she's running somewhere. Like immediately my mind thought, oh, okay, like, you know, somebody could have been taking care of her outside of that. That's my thought. It's very easy for kids that are on the run to get entangled with other adults, whatever that looks like. Okay? Very easy.
With that in mind, you had mentioned that a crime has been committed. We're just not exactly sure how many crimes.
That's absolutely true. And that's correct. Everything we talk about now as far as cause of death is speculation until we have some science to back it up. When you talk about a crime, we talk about the concealment, the dismemberment, the desecration of the corpse. We also talk about a situation where if they can prove that there's some sort of relationship between a 14-year-old and a 20-year-old, that's a problem for him. Yeah, the age of consent in Illinois is 17. You can't give consent at 14 to be with an adult. There's another crime. That's like the backside of that is another crime. If the LAPD can come up with definitive proof that he was in fact involved in a relationship, he has another problem.
Let's analyze this a bit. What makes more sense to you? Someone panicked, put the body in the car, didn't have enough time to know what to do with it. The car was there for a long period of time, though, so I don't know if that makes sense. Or we're purposely putting it in this car. We know it's registered to David. The car is near where the property he was renting was. There's an argument we're targeting David. I mean, what makes more sense to you?
Well, it's an awful elaborate scheme to target.
Imagine this. If he was targeted, again, not saying that that's the case, we don't know. But you would have to be really stupid. Like you're an idiot to, first of all, you're an idiot if you were talking to a minor and grooming them. Like that's just gross and horrible. All of that is gross and horrible. But you would be very stupid to think that you're not going to get caught, if that makes sense.
Target David by a rival or something along those lines to do a murder and then steal his car and then put the body in the car. Now, I never reported this car stolen, so we don't know if there's an auto theft in that. That seems pretty elaborate to me. The girl dying of her natural causes is possible. A murder is definitely possible. And you say the car is found not far from where the house he was renting. The car has been evidence that it's been in the desert off the road. If I'm investigating this, I am trying to find a route from his home to where this body is found and see if there is any, like, you know, part of the out of the desert or an off-road area where maybe she dies or she's killed. They take her to that spot. They do what they do to her body, put it in the car, and then get rid of it and then ditch the car. So there's a lot of things that still have to be determined.
So if you're a fan of Sidebar, by the way, then you know we cover a lot of cases and we put out a lot of clips a day. And I will tell you, you might be saying, how are you able to do that? Well, we use a platform called Opus Clips. So if you're online, if you're on social media, this may be of interest to you. It is an all-in-one AI editor that makes it easier and faster.
Speaking of AI, I'm going to move a little bit forward. Yeah, there's AI editors. Okay, let's keep moving.
Are they just not making it public? If it didn't involve David at all, in any way, would they say it? Would they say, hey, listen, we want to clear him. At least we'll put out a statement and say at this point in time, David is not connected to this whatsoever. I haven't seen a statement like that. Now, I'm not suggesting that he is. Again, he hasn't been officially implicated in wrongdoing, but would it be typical of police to say if he had absolutely no involvement in this whatsoever, and there's this whole cloud?
I wouldn't make a statement if I was David, regardless, because no matter what, it doesn't look well either side. Now, Foreign Scammer says, my theory is that the family's involved somehow. That's why it's been very quiet. I think the reason why the family's been very quiet is because they knew that he was running. She was running to David. They knew about the relationship. They knew, or this grooming or whatever. I hate calling it a relationship because it almost like it gives validity to some really bad behavior. Does that make sense? So they knew that she was talking to, or at least had a boyfriend named David, right? We know this. And I think that the family is quiet because they don't want to be judged by this situation, right? That's my thought on that. I don't know what involvement other than not protecting their child, but that's kind of my thought on that. I don't know, man. Let me hit play on this.
On a lot of public attention. I have to imagine they have more information than we do at this point. Would they come out and immediately, clear him of anything?
It's case by case basis. I mean, if you absolutely know it's not him, you know that. But I can tell you that these detectives are operating on theories too. There's probably 2 or 3 different theories.
Oh, you see, the detectives are operating on theories. Now, Monica says, reports recanted on the state of her remains for those who haven't. No, Monica, where? Did they make is there another report? Are they all recanting? Because we've all been noticing that too. Are they saying not dismembered now? Everybody's repeating the same thing that everybody's saying. Please say more on this. Please say more on this.
That they're operating under. And I think they're not giving that information that he's been cleared because they just don't know yet. They're still trying to figure out exactly what went down, what caused this girl's death. When we talk about persons of interest, it's kind of a weird statement to use or weird way to depict somebody as a person of interest in a disappearance. Because the girl's been gone, missing for 1.5 years, roughly, I believe is the number. How could you be a person of interest in a disappearance unless you're doing an abduction? And I don't think there's any evidence that she was abducted. It seems like she left under her own free will. So I think there's not a lot of information coming out because they just don't know yet. They're operating under theories, but you can't just, talk about all your theories.
Toxicology testing.
Interesting. Look what Monica said. Disarticulation, isn't that the word? Right? They recanted on her remains being found apart. We're not saying dismemberment anymore, or at least I told y'all, I told you guys, I've been saying it for days. I said, I think we're being gaslit. I think they're going to change their narrative. I told you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Other testing, lab reports for cause and manner of death. You've said it so well. Feels very clear that may be the answer for this investigation for a lot of people. Her cause of death has been deferred pending additional testing. What can we expect from that testing? How accurate is it going to be? And I guess the most important question of all is, when do those tests come back and when are they made public?
Well, I don't know when they're going to make it public out there, but I know it takes about 6 weeks, sometimes 6 to 8 weeks for us to get toxicology back on a post. And what that's going to show is levels of alcohol or ethanol in her system, any drugs, any level of drugs, regardless of what it is, they'll test for it. And you will be able to see that if she had a toxicity level high enough to kill her on whatever drug it is. If that comes back positive, or it comes back at a number that would have killed her, now you got a cause. You don't have a manner yet, but you have a cause of death. And manner just means, did she accidentally take it? Did somebody drug her? And again, these are all very, very difficult things to prove in a situation where you've lost a lot of evidence on a severely decomposed body.
Does an investigation get more complicated by what we actually reported in a previous sidebar that, and this is being reported by LA Magazine and other outlets, that David has hired a defense attorney, a very prominent celebrity defense attorney, Blair Burke. She's represented Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein. I mean, he really went out to, and I don't think I think she does civil. She doesn't really do like criminal. If my understanding, I could be wrong, but y'all let me know. I know you guys probably looked into her, but I'm pretty sure she's only done like civil cases and not like criminal trials or anything like that. I mean, is this just a PR move on his behalf?
Willow Green, Bruno Mars, Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan. So far, from what we've seen, not entirely sure her role as of yet in this case. I haven't seen any public statement from her on behalf of her client. But when someone, I can't say a subject, I can't say a suspect, I can't say a person of interest, obviously can't say a defendant. When someone has some sort of connection to a case and they hire a criminal defense attorney, does that complicate the role of investigators and how?
Well, hold up. Somebody said in the chat, I agree. There's not going to be arrests. They had weeks to clean it up. Well, here's the question that I have is, what if there is an arrest, but it's not David? Would you guys be surprised? What if it was, what if it's not an arrest for David? What if it's just a misdemeanor? Or what if it's nothing? Just a question.
It can. And again, if he didn't get a defense attorney in this case, I think he'd be foolish in this situation, because it's not only the death of the girl, but we're talking about the fact that she was a minor, that angle of it too. It can't. And when you have an attorney representing a person of interest or a client, you have to go through the attorney to talk to this person. Now, when you go to talk to somebody, I could go to his house and say, hey, this is who we are. At that point, the person I'm talking to can say, okay, I have an attorney. You have to talk to my attorney. Now, regardless, now we know that people are represented. Doesn't mean we can't talk to them, because the right to counsel has to be invoked by the person who you're talking to. Many, many times we've had lawyers show up when we have somebody in custody and say, hey, I'm this person's lawyer. We'll go in, hey, do you have a lawyer? There's someone out here that says you're your lawyer. You have to tell them that. But that person doesn't necessarily have to say, yep, that's my lawyer. I'm not talking to you. They're the person that has to invoke their right. So I think it's probably a smart move to have a lawyer in this situation. And it can impede law enforcement when they start to do interviews. It doesn't always do that. She may bring her client in. They may speak to law enforcement with a lot of conditions, a lot of things that she'll allow them to answer and things she won't. So it can impede the investigation, but it's nothing they're not used to dealing with.
I want to talk about the property that he was renting. So
I guess we'll see how all of this pans out for him.
We know that the Tesla was registered in his name. It was found in the Hollywood Hills. We have also seen reporting that, again, he was renting this property, this mansion nearby. Reporting says $20,000 a month. He apparently broke the lease, moved his stuff out. This came after authorities searched the place, confiscated items pursuant to a search warrant. Well, TMZ is reporting that the owner, Malden Trifanovich, is getting that mansion ready to be back on the market as soon as possible. That someone came by last week to pick up a few things, but anything that was left behind, he's tossing out because he wants another renter in place. Now, TMZ has actually posted photos of a crew apparently tossing out stuff, so maybe stuff possibly belonging to David. Will, I thought that was interesting because does that mean that the house has no more evidentiary value? Why allow this to happen? Why not just it be closed off, make sure nothing happens to it?
Well, you can only hold people's property for so long. And the whole, always the legal.
No, see, I know every state is different, but if you guys remember the Idaho murders, that house was like sealed off until they tore it down, was sealed off forever, guys. So that's why I was like, well, they must not really think that this happened at this house, right? Like they really must think that this didn't happen at this house because they sealed this house forever. They went back and forth about whether they were going to tear it down or not.
Standard is reasonableness, right? Is it reasonable to keep this person's property for so long? You get a search warrant done. You have 96 hours in Illinois to execute that search warrant. If you can't get everything out of there in 96 hours, you have to apply for an extension to the warrant. So it's not reasonable to lock down this person's property. I'm sure they went through it pretty well. And once it's released, it's his property. He does whatever he wants with it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And that's a good point to make. I did want to talk to you about Celeste, and I want to talk to you about her movements, what may have been going on in her life. So ABC7 has reported that court records show that police in Lake Elsinore, California, showed up to Celeste's family's home multiple times in the last several years. That reporting from TMZ, News Nation, ABC, shows that Riverside County Sheriff's deputies, they were called out to this home, Celeste's home, 11 times over a 14-month period. ABC says that a phone log from the home shows that there are many calls, particularly in 2024, to this home. Many are listed as follow-ups that Celeste's apparent ex-boyfriend told TMZ that she had a tough home life. There is surveillance footage from a liquor store in March of 2024.
Which they say it's Celeste, but it's kind of hard to tell, but okay.
This is a liquor store that was in the neighborhood where you apparently see Celeste jogging down a street. She turns a corner, disappears from frame. We believe that this is one of her apparent runaway attempts, that while she apparently went missing in April of 2024, there is another video of seemingly Celeste in September 2024 when she's apparently back in this Lake Elsinore neighborhood arguing with people, possibly about a prank at her home. That has shifted the timeline. So, Will, how much of this is doing a deep dive into Celeste's life? Every aspect of it. The surveillance footage, the missing persons reports, what her home life was like. How much of it is the investigation centered on that? And how confident are you that they can track what
that is like the longest question. Okay.
She was up to before she wound up dead?
I'm confident that if a 14-year-old's missing from their home, there's some things going on in that house. Okay. It's a big part of the investigation. It gives you a little background of her mindset. Her movements are huge. We have to figure out where she was going. Where has she been for a year and a half? How is she making a living? Who's taking her in? All of that is crucial to finding out how she ended up in that car. So yes, the deep dive into the family life is big. All of her friends, the ex-boyfriend, everybody comes into play at this. Talk about surveillance videos of her. Is she staying with somebody around the house? How did she end up with David? All of these things can be put into play, and all these things can be figured out by doing interviews and doing the deep dive that you're talking about. And her personal life and her home life is a big part of that because 14-year-olds aren't on the street for a year and a half by themselves.
Going back to something that you mentioned, talking David here.
Okay, I want to go to something else. There's some more pictures that are coming about now. This is the Daily Mail. This was from today. Okay. The family members or close family friends. The Queen of Heaven's Cemetery and Mortuary. This is where her remains were taken to, just so people are aware. This is that little the little privacy shield and stuff like that. I mean, but they literally send a I mean, unless they got drones. I mean, now you could do drones on aerial, views and visions and stuff like that. Just so people are aware. We've seen this picture, but family, close family and friends. This is family. I mean, they're covering their faces, and they just want privacy at this moment, which makes sense. I mean, there's the hearse. Okay. Closer pictures to the area. Okay. Okay, and this might be the priests. I mean, I'm assuming that they're Catholic, but I could be wrong. I don't know. This is when she was laid to rest, guys. She was laid to rest today. Gives you guys more perspective about the situation as far as family and everything. And I know people have said, well, I have questions about, and you guys are entitled to your questions. I'm just letting you know that there's pictures out there. Can we confirm there's not a whole lot we can do other than just the fact that they did follow through? And I don't know who Celeste. I've never seen a picture of Celeste's mom. I know that there's pictures out there of her what's the word? Of her siblings. I've seen I think that this might be her brother right here, because I saw him in a news report when they were going there to ask him questions, and he was just kind of like, no, I don't want to answer anything. So he looks familiar to me. The gentleman, I mean, they're all in black and they have that pink flower, but the one on the far back, he looks familiar to me because I've seen him when he was when they were trying to interview him. But they do have pictures, and it sounds like there's a drone that was there as well. Let's see. Welcome everybody, for those that are coming through. Thank you guys. Shout out to everybody. You have a good night too, clearly, Shelly. Let's see. It could be because of maybe that's where they felt comfortable. They might have other family members there. We don't know. I recognized the bald guy with the glasses on June 2nd, 2024. Celeste came back home with the video at a cookout at the house, and she hugged him. Yeah, it sounds like it's very much maybe close family members. No, I have not seen this. Where is that? If you want to send me an email, that'd be great. Every time I hear Daily Mail, now I think of the Daily Bread, y'all. Sorry, Becca. My bad. The Daily Mail, the Daily Beast, and the Daily Bread. You guys pick your publication. It was Sunday when I said that, so it was a very fitting day, and it just kind of came naturally, okay? Don't get mad at me, okay? Shout out to everybody. But I just happened to say it. BJ was in the chat too, and she was laughing it up. It just came naturally. What? Oh no. Okay. Hold up, y'all. Baby Bunny had a doctor's appointment today. So I'm just saying, like, she did actually very good. Thank God we were not, no shots. She was a little worried about shots. She's like, I don't want shots, Mom. No shots. We're up to date. We've always been up to date. We went because we're going to be we're looking into preschools and different things like that. So that might be the next stop. Anyway, sorry about that. Just letting the people know. Hold up. What is this? Oh man, like, okay. By the way, when I was Google searching, immediately the county of Los Angeles medical examiner's office is still saying deferred pending additional investigation. Cases on security hold will not be displayed. A lot of us ordered reports and we have not received them. Okay. So Just so people are aware. I mean, it sounds like they're still waiting to get more information. No, no, no need. No need. That's a good question though. Thank you for asking, but no need. No need, y'all. No need. Hold up. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Hold up, guys. Okay. Hold up. I want to show you guys something. What is this? Latest theory. This is speculation. There's the cam footage. I think this is when the no one has definitive proof of seeing Celeste since the beginning of 2025. Yeah. When was the last time anybody saw her? On February 8th, the last dance video cam came out of the cop's dash cam was a code of a drug suggesting the person that they put in the trunk had a drug overdose. Camera date in the video is January 29th of 2025. The date is true. I think David. So who is this Zerks? This name Zerk. You guys, this is kind of like becoming the Gus of the situation. Who is Zerks? Thank you, Nick. I might consider changing my name. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. I'm gonna say something real quick because I know that you have like constantly dropped this creator's name in my chat, and I'm gonna be very honest with you. Some people do not believe in spirit boxes, so it would be best for you to ask the creator if they believe in spirit boxes before promoting a spirit box. In the Latino community, some people just I'm just gonna speak for myself. I find spirit boxes, in my opinion, especially when somebody has died, to be kind of like offensive sometimes because maybe people aren't ready to have their loved ones be contacted. And that's just my opinion. No shade on anybody who does that as a content creator. It's just not my thing. It's offensive for some people. So if a creator does spirit boxes, maybe you might want to contact the me before telling me about who is doing a spirit box, because I could tell you that some of us don't believe in spirit boxes, or some of us find that to be offensive. In the Latino community, some of us don't believe in that. I could be wrong. Y'all are entitled to yours, but that's just my opinion. And then we get a lot of like people get a lot of hate when, you know, if we just have to be respectful. That's what I'm saying. This young child just died and she was just buried. Personally, I just don't do the spirit boxes, and I don't put my energy in that. But you guys are entitled to your opinion about all of that. Just please don't drop any names about people that are contacting spirit boxes, because I don't. Okay, thank you. And this is why you got timed out a couple times, because you keep saying the person's name. It's just not okay. Well, you know, it's one thing to talk about the case. It's one thing to give an opinion about something, but it's respectful depending on the culture that you're seeking or that you're talking about. So note that, please, and thank you. Yeah, that's my thought on that. Hold up. Let's see. If I were in the situation I'm innocent, I would want a statement to be made saying so. Yeah. It just really depends, you know? It's on the David Reddit search for the word theater. Celeste and David's family together. On the David 2 Reddit search. All right, I'm going to type in theater, okay? Two days ago. Okay, this one right here. So I was thinking about the backstage video that's allegedly of Celeste and David's brother. This one. So it's coming out of this TikTok video. Oh, I can't even play it because it's got music. Hold up. I was wondering. Oh, I think we've seen this before. I was wondering where the show might have been filmed because I hadn't seen much speculation about it on Reddit, but I could be blind. The thing that stood out to me was the green theater drapes in the background. My first assumption was Los Angeles since Celeste is a minor. I doubt that she would be able to travel on tour with him. Airlines usually require parental consent or especially unaccompanied minor arrangements, so it seems more likely she's the only she only be on the local shows. From what I could find, David only had 3 Los Angeles shows last year in 2024, all at the Fonda Theater. Okay. I noticed the same green drapes. I did some digging and came across a few things. A Facebook page from a company called High Photo Booths that provides a photo booth of the Fonda shows. In one of their photos, you can see David with his mom, brother, and little sister. Here's a link to the website. Three nights at the Fonda. Oh, yeah, there's David's mom. I'd never seen this before. Oh, man. That's David's mom right there, right? And then there's what's his name? That looks like Josh. Is this David's mom or not? And Josh. Is this correct? Which does kind of make me wonder if if there was something going on, did David's mom know what was going on? Was she aware? Thank you so much, Biker Baddie. Thank you, my love. Let's see. I told you to look into the family. I mean, we just going through the emotions. Wow. Yeah, there are pictures out there. I don't know all these other people, but I do recognize at least David, Josh. That looks like Josh and mom right there. Little sister in the front row. Oh, okay. She's a minor, so I don't want to really show her face like that. I don't think she knew by the way that she responded to him about the music. Sounded like she didn't have time for him. Well, he's 20, you know. You said he's the cameraman? Interesting. On the bottom, I saw that. Okay. That's interesting. That's an interesting find. I'd never seen that before. Now, what is this? It's kind of hard to tell, but I guess this is supposed to be Celeste or something. Okay, go back. Visit Reddit. But who is Zerk? Because people are talking about a Zerk. Does anybody hear about Zerk? What am I missing? Let's see. Check the posted pictures. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell with that one. This is David, the Fonda Theater, Los Angeles. This was a year ago. He sang basically all of his songs. Backstreet Girl. Rehab. His music. I can't play his music, guys. We will get tagged and flagged. It's not new information that family knew about Celeste. Allegedly, based on this Reddit post. You can see Celeste there. Which one, though? You said Zerk is a moderator for David's Twitch and Discord. He seemingly knows more than he has stated, says Michi. Ándale. Okay. Mira. Ándale. Okay. I've heard this point being questioned a couple times and again mentioned today with the post. Most recently about the theater. Guys, the truth is in his lyrics. They're rooted in honesty. That's what somebody said in the chat. They feel like the lyrics say everything that you need to know. But here's some photos. Okay, we saw that. Ah, look at this. Yo, I can't even see this photo. I'm trying to zoom in and it won't let me. I mean, this is her backstage with the green. This is what people said, right? So is she sitting in the audience too here? Interesting. Okay. Well, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I am going to let you guys go. If you guys want to shoot me an email, if there's information that you guys, like I said, I've been receiving so many emails. I'm going to put my email up here so you guys can email me. We'll review it tomorrow. I think, for the most part, we're just going to have to wait what else comes out of it. You know what I mean? And this is my email, guys. Just so my email, let me know if anything, maybe there's something that you feel like I need to look at. Let me know. 5 Divine, thank you again for the $4.99 and supporting the channel tonight. I wonder whether Celeste's family actually saw the remains and think she looks dismembered or just badly decomposed. No. I don't know, man. Thank you again, 5 Divine, for the $4.99. I appreciate it. Again, for the person that could, now you're just blocked. Everybody's, y'all are entitled to believe. I'm not here to tell you not to believe on a spirit box or anything like that. I personally find it to be a little bit off, and that's just my belief. And if you're going to promote another creator that does spirit boxes, you might want to contact the creator on a email and say, hey, do you want to listen to this? There might be something interesting. I personally don't do it. I just don't. I don't. But that's no shade to whatever creator does it. That's on them. Okay. So again, you can email me and let me know. Or already you just got blocked. You got blocked. Y'all are entitled to believe whatever you want to believe. That's fine. Completely up to you. Okay. 5 Divine, thank you so much again for the $4.99. I appreciate it. It's weird. It's like, why are people trying to shove different beliefs that other people have? I don't do that to y'all. I don't want to do that to y'all. So don't do it to me. Don't do it to my chat. Okay. And if you have something to say, email me. A lot of people do. They're very respectful. That's it. Thank you. Biker Baddie, thank you so much for the $2. No murder charges. We only wait for the talks. Well, and that's the thing. Biker Baddie, that's what we gotta wait for. We gotta wait for these results and see what happens. You know what I mean? We definitely have to, You said we need words from law enforcement. I'm just saying, Miss Amber, y'all believe whatever you want to. I'm not here to preach to that, but don't shove it in my chat like I need to believe it. I don't do that to you. Don't do that to me. Respectfully. And again, no disrespect to that creator, but some of us just do things a little bit different, okay? Especially when we do true crime. It's not my first true crime case that I've covered, okay? I will see you guys later on tomorrow. Hit the like button, and you guys have a great night. And thank you guys for keeping it cute in my chat. Thank you. Good night. Bye, guys.